What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me, but I just got home off of an early morning flight, right? First thing through the door, I want to see my family. I love my family. You know, I'm a family man. I'm an advocate for families, right? Second thing, I got to get that hot shower because I got to throw the threads on. The threads make me feel like $1,000,000, but the third thing through my mind and all throughout the trip is that I gotta have that Tej pack. Tej makes my life uncomplicated. It's uncomplicated skincare for men. The first way that I started specifically was their level 1 system. It's a daily face wash to get rid of the dirt and grime on your skin. 2 times per week exfoliate and scrub to get rid of the dead skin cells. An AM moisturizer with SPF 20 because you should always be protecting your skin from the sun, and a PM moisturizer to help your skin stay hydrated and healthy throughout the night. Here's the thing. My favorite part about Tej Henley is that every box comes with an instruction card that tells you when to use each product, how much to use, and in what order. They really making the process of achieving and maintaining amazing skin for men uncomplicated. In addition to amazing skin, members of Tej Henley get tons of benefits, including at least 20% off the retail price, the ability to customize your box, exclusive monthly deals, you can pause and cancel at any time, and you get free shipping. And because Tej Henley is sponsoring today's video, they're offering my viewers an amazing deal, right? Just click the first link in the description and you get 30% off your first box, plus a free gift. It's an amazing deal. You got to get started today. You're not out here trying to look like a dusty. And if you travel as much as I do, which I'm sure most people don't, but you know me, I'm pushing my bag chasers in order to be in the top 5%, top 10%, top 1%. We got to make our lives uncomplicated, and Tej Henley is no better product. You got to look good. You got to smell good. And you can't be looking like a dusty. Make sure you get started today. Click the link in the description. Get that Tej pack. Feel the Tej, my friends. What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Thank you for tuning into the Millionaire Morning Show. I'm your host, Anton Daniels, and it is Tuesday, March 28th, 2023, year of our Lord. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to everybody that's in the chat holding me down. Let me go ahead and recognize the early risers. So we got Classy Beats is in the building. Waldo, what up, though? Kojak is in the building. I appreciate you, family, for always holding me down. Nisi, what's up, Nisi? How you doing, baby girl? Mike, that dude, I love you. I appreciate you. Florida Boy 727 says, what's good, bag chasers? Hope all is well. Big Sug says, good morning, peeps. Batman 4000 plus 11 says, good morning, sir. You are 10 toes down and I rock with you. Treese Westmoreland says, good morning, family. Lauren Love says, good morning, Anton. What up to the bag chasers? My dog, Demetrius Saul, says, Beyonce Adidas finally ended their partnership. I predicted that was going to happen. Remember that, Demetrius? Alvin S. says, good morning, AD and the bag chasers. Bag chasers for life. Let me get down to my first super chat of the day. My dog, Bitcoin Brown, says, saw your tweet, AD. Stay encouraged, bro. And make sure your health is taking priority. You are leading so many of us out here. Let me speak to that really quickly. Let's get the show started. We're not going to wait. We're just going to go ahead and cook up. We're going to get the show started. And I'm going to be reading super chats throughout the show. So Bitcoin Brown, for those of y'all that follow me on social media, well, let me do a little bit of housekeeping. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Also, do not follow any social media profiles that say that they are me, but they are not me. The only social media profiles that I have is the Anton Daniels social media profile. Hey, I don't like this. Where's my Oh, okay, it's right there. The Anton Daniels social media profile, the Anton Daniels Twitter, and last but not least, the Anton Daniels Facebook profile, which we are looking to get a little bit more active with regard to that. But it's all down in the description as far as the different profiles that we rocking out with, right? Because there's a lot of people that I got an email yesterday and it was like, Anton, it was a guy that was writing just like you sounded and all of this other type of stuff. And he even sent me some money and all of this type of, I'm like, was that your second or third Instagram profile? Every day we get about 3 or 4 different fake Instagram profiles removed. So if it's not down in the description, if it is not the one that y'all know me to be on, one Anton Daniels, it is down in the description, then it is not me, okay? The only way that I'm going to be contacting you from a business perspective is I'm going to be contacting you through email. As a matter of fact, you contact me through email and then we respond. AntonDaniels413@gmail.com if you want to get in touch with me. Again, let me say it one more time. AntonDaniels413@gmail.com if you want to get in touch with me. All of my social media profiles is down in the description. Do not get finessed. Do not be bamboozled. Do not get, they be having these bots in the chat that be saying, hey, this is contact me on WhatsApp, Anton Daniels, under y'all comments. That's not me. That is not me. If it does not have a check mark next to the name on the Millionaire Morning Show or the Anton Daniels profile, it is not me. It is not a representation of me. I hope y'all are able to identify the fake profiles from the real profiles. All right. And Vanessa, I see you. You said that the fake Instagram profile contacted you on IG. I need y'all to screenshot it because what they do is they block me so that I can't see it from my profile page. They block me and then they reach out to y'all. So y'all got to screenshot it before y'all block them and report it. Screenshot it, send it to me, and then I can get it removed. All right. So again, I'm always getting them removed. Most of these profiles is coming straight from Nigeria. Maybe y'all gonna get offended and say, oh, that's racist because he's saying most of the scammers is from Nigeria. Like they did Pearl or what I said yesterday. We tracing them and almost all of them is coming from Nigeria with a handful of them coming from here in the United States. It just is what it is. Shout out to my Nigerian scammers. But let's go ahead and get started in the show. Let me read this other super chat before we get it popping. France says, hey, Anton, tried to send you an email but couldn't. Sent it on Facebook. Would appreciate it if you saw it whenever you have time. Send me an email at AntonDaniels413@gmail.com. It's no reason why y'all should not be able to email me. AntonDaniels413@gmail.com. I appreciate you for the super chat and everybody that rock out with me. I'm going to be reading them throughout the show. Q did an incredible show. These past 2 weeks, Q did her own show on the Anton Daniels channel. And it has been incredible. She had a lineup last night on the Anton Daniels channel. Make sure y'all go back and watch that show after this one. That was crazy. They had some great conversations. She doing some incredible things. So I got some great things lined up for y'all that I'm working on. But let me break something down really quickly, and then we're going to get into a show. I got a full-pack show for y'all. We got Umar Johnson on the lineup. He's giving his thoughts on Jonathan Majors. I have updates on the Nashville school shootings. We got how pay transparency is messing up the game from a financial perspective. And so we got a lot that we need to discuss and go over. But the first thing that I want to go over is somebody did say that, yo, Anton, I seen your Twitter. I am very active on Twitter. I love Twitter because I could just shoot off my thoughts really quickly and then go to sleep or try to go to sleep, right? And then I posted last night on Twitter basically saying that, yo, I can't sleep. I'm fucked up. I think a lot of y'all think that just because people present themselves a certain type of way on the internet, and the overwhelming majority of the people on Instagram, or they get up on these shows and they only give you the view of how they critique others, but they don't actually let you into their life, that you think that all of these people just got it together. And we all got flaws. The only difference between me and everybody else is that I'm willing to wear mine on my sleeve. I wear my passion on my sleeve. I give y'all the emotion. I give y'all the passion. I do highlight to y'all, I don't want y'all to make decisions based off of your emotions, but everybody has them and everybody go through things. And again, I think that the reason why y'all love me and y'all support me and y'all so loyal to me is because regardless of whether or not you agree with me, you know that I'm telling you the honest to God truth based off of my own life and lived experience. And I'm not just telling you what you want to hear, right? And that's why I hate some of these content creators. I do. And it was a lot of different things that's been bothering me over the past couple of days. I would even say over the past week. And I'm a express some of these things to you right now, right? One thing that I can't stand, and I love to live my life like an open book, regardless of what comes with the good or the bad, my flaws, my issues, my problems, what it is that I feel, what I'm going through, my trials, my tribulations, my ups, my downs, my failures, my successes. I give that to you. I share my family, right? And it's funny because like I'm looking at Rel Riley and he says it's easy to be that way with millions in the bank. How you think I got there? That's part of this conversation, right? Part of this conversation is that my tweet specifically was saying that I'm fucked up because I only sleep 4 hours a day. And when I'm passionate, like I went on that passionate rant yesterday where I was saying, B. Taylor and y'all so focused on Pearl. But what y'all don't understand is that Pearl don't fucking sleep. Pearl did a coffee talk maybe a month ago where she was talking about all of the health issues that came along with her neglecting, even though she's a volleyball player, even though she's technically a professional volleyball player and stuff, how all of the health issues that came along with it because she don't fucking sleep. And I'm very much the same way, which is kind of why I can relate to her because there's other things outside of however I feel about whatever she said that we connect on and we strategize about a lot of different things. And I only get about 4 hours of sleep at night. Sometimes I'll go to sleep. Thank you for the super chat. I'm gonna be reading that throughout the show. Sometimes I might go to bed at 11 and I'm back up at 3. Last night I was up at 2. Because I was watching the show that Q was putting on and it was so incredible. But my work is my safe space. My work is my safe space. So for my entire life, a lot of people's vices are the things that they go to when they go through things. Because again, everybody goes through things. Some people go into the streets. Some people have addictions when it comes to drugs. Some people go to drinking. Some people have relied on cigarettes. Some people rely on food. And that's why my 400, 500, 600 pound life. Some people are nymphomaniacs. Some people need somebody else to make them feel better about themselves. Some people play the blame game. Some people run into victim Olympics. Some people drown themselves in sitcoms and Netflix specials and all of that. But for me, I've always leaned into work. And so whenever I was conflicted or I was anxious or I was heartbroken or even when my father died, I threw myself into my work. I don't wallow. I don't anguish. I figure out how I can be as productive as possible. And so I just don't sleep. Sometimes I can go 2 or 3 days, or I've been in spaces where I went 2, 3 days without sleeping. And so I'm fucked up because, I think about certain things, the benefits that came along with it. And one of the reasons why I had highlighted that chat that said that, it's easy to say when there's millions in the bank. You don't really know how rich people is. Y'all got these perceptions of how people are. My friends and some of the people that sit around me, they fucked up too. They don't sleep. They show up with the big watches and the cars and all of that. And you know what they be doing all night until 3 a.m? They be fucking working their ass off. And it's just become a part of their life. It ain't because they chasing money no more. It's just become a part of who they are. And the money is just the residual effect of it. It's the truth. And I do. And I anguish. And so I got up and I prayed. And then Rita said, well, where you going? I said, I'm about to go in here real quick. And so I get up, I pray, and then I work, and then I pray, and then I try to lay back down for about 30 minutes. And then I get up and I pray, and then I work again, right? And so, I was telling God, I was like, just take this whole burden away from me of people. And I've never asked for that before. And I'm like, take this burden away of people. And I went into context because I talked to God like it's just a regular, person that's sitting next to me. And I said, the people not caring, I don't want to care more about people than they care about themselves. I don't mind pouring into them. I don't mind adding value into them. But if I jump on a coaching call with you, if I have a follow-up coaching call with you, for example, and I say, listen, I need you to do this, this, and this. I'm going to give you a month or 2 months or 3 months. By the next time that we talk, I need you to have these things done so that we can leapfrog off of it in order to continue to push you forward. And then you come to me and you say, well, I'm only halfway done. And then I spent a lot of my time preparing for you and you didn't even prepare for yourself. Take that burden away from me, God, because then I got to go off on you and then I got to get passionate and I got to fire you up and I got to be the father that you never had and tell you about yourself and check the fuck out on you. And that drains me because whether I'm on these live streams or whether you see me in person or whether you want a phone call with me, and anybody that's had a coaching session, anybody that's ever met me in person, I am the same way, if not 10 times more in person and on these Zoom calls and these personal coaching calls than I am right here. And so sometimes I ask God to take that burden away from me because it can drain you, not when you pouring into people that actually want to do the work, but it can drain you when you're dealing with people that actually don't want the best for themselves because it shows in their actions. Love is an action word. Success is an action word. Everything is an action word that can be brought forth based off of what you do. That's why they say faith without works is dead. You can believe all you want to believe, but it doesn't mean anything if you don't actually put the work in behind it, because the work behind it is actually the evidence of the faith. And so I realized who I am. And what I heard said back to me was, nah, this is your cross to bear. It's just what come with the job. Ain't no days off. Ain't no not being passionate about the people. It ain't no not telling the truth. It ain't no not telling them exact. It ain't no giving in to the mob mentality as far as what everybody else expects for you to say and do and think. It ain't no chameleon-like vibes. You do what I told you to do in order to do the thing that's best for the people. And most of them is going to hate you and some of them is going to go against you, but it's going to be 1, 2 here, 3, 4 there, 5, 6 there that you able to pluck out from amongst all of the people that is trash. I said it. The overwhelming majority of the people that's out here in these streets, that is in the world, you are trash. You are hot garbage. Listen to what I'm telling you. Hell every day enlargeth itself. Every day hell gets bigger. Every day there's a lot of people that's not going to make it. They not going to make it when it comes to success. They not going to make it when it comes to heaven. I said it. Your homeboy was a menace in the streets and it ain't no rest in peace. It's agonizing hell for that motherfucker. Your grandma was a demon. Your daddy was a devil. Your homeboy and your homegirl, they can't wait to take you down with them. What I'm telling you is that if you are listening to this live stream right now, you have a unique opportunity to really separate yourself and divest from the things that's not best for you. I don't care about everybody. I care about you. I care about somebody. It's the reason why we separate ourselves and we call ourselves the bag chasers. Bag chasers are not people that chase money. It's chasing the best thing for you, understanding that the money, the success, the greatness, the network, it all comes along with it. Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and everything else will be added unto you. You have a unique opportunity to not be a piece of shit. You have a unique opportunity to get to the bag. You have a unique opportunity to align yourself with a group of people that's going in the direction that you're going in. You have a unique opportunity to divest yourself from the echo chamber of the people that's telling you what you want to hear, leading your dark heart directly into the pits of hell. Now, you may not believe it, and that's on you. But the one thing that I've always understood is that obedience is better than sacrifice. And my job is to make sure that I tell you the truth, that I give you the game, that I help you to become successful, that I give you the truth. That is the most important thing. And then I'm rewarded handsomely as a result of it because I am blessed. There is nothing that a devil or a demon can do that can ever stop my shine. I'm never not gonna be rich. I'm never not gonna be whatever. I'm gonna go through things like everybody else because it rains on the just and the unjust. But the reality is that I'm already going to be phenomenal. It's predestined for me to be phenomenal. You have to make a conscious decision. It is somebody in your life. Think about it for a second. Take 1 minute before we deep dive into this show. There is somebody, at least one, maybe two, definitely a possibility for three. Forget me. Forget how you feel about me. Forget what you think about what my opinion is. Just take one step back, just for this one moment. Before the restream, before the people come in, before the trolls, before you get into your feelings, just give me 1 minute of your time. I promise it won't be anything more than that. Take 1 minute, regardless of how you feel about me or anybody else in the chat or any other streams that you've seen, and take 1 minute to just do an internal look at the people that you surround yourself with and ask yourself, are you making sacrifices in order to still have them in your presence? Or are they honestly the best thing for you? Are they slowing you down and preventing you from becoming successful? Or are they pushing you in order to be great? If they slowing you down in any way, shape, and form, I'm telling you, you need to leave your mother and your father, leave your friend and your family, leave that person that is slowing you down, that is continuing to drag you back into that dark space, regardless of how temporarily it may make you feel, because that is the whole idea behind drugs. It is a high and then it's a crash. You don't have to crash. You can continuously continue to go up. You have to do a self-check. You have to do a reality check. You have to go back into that space, your closet, because at the end of the day, they go home and they face their own demons. And you are still left to pick up the trash and the pieces of your life because you have to go to sleep by yourself. And at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, you're going to have to give an account of how you did, how you lived your life, who you affected, whether you told the truth, because it ain't gonna matter how everybody felt when you got to give an account for what your life is like. It's not gonna matter about whether or not the chat agreed with you. It's not gonna matter about whether or not the echo chamber agreed with you. The only thing is gonna matter is the truth, and it pricks your heart. We have an inherent ability within us. It is godlike. That's why we were made in his image. We have an inherent ability within us to be able to really, really be able to determine who's telling the truth and who's actually telling us what we want to hear. Often at times we ignore the truth in order to make sure that we can do what we want to do and we can justify it within our minds. But when you take a step back and you be real about yourself, and that conflict is warring within you, and it's a war between the spirit and the flesh, that's your inner you. That's your soul. That's your spirit telling you it ain't all good. Your life is going to be fucked up tomorrow if you go down that same path that you've been going down. When we get done with this stream and this show is over, you got to go home to you. Ain't nobody on the internet. It ain't one content creator on here that's going to be able to go home with you and save you from yourself. You still got to go to work in the morning. You still got to raise your kids. You still got to pay your bills. And ain't none of these motherfuckers actually giving you the game to help you to become a better version of yourself. Think about that shit for a minute. The minute that you start to reject the thing that's best for you just to make yourself feel good, just so you can be a part of the crew. We've seen this happen in high school. We've seen it happen in college. We've seen it happen all throughout our lives. It's happening on the internet right now. People will rather feel good and feel a part of something instead of face themselves, knowing that the truth is right there within their grasp, and they will reject it in order to make sure that they can continue to make sure that everybody else feel good about them being around. And they don't give a fuck about you. I love you, and that's why I tell you the truth. Let me get into the show, all right? Let's get into the show. Shout out to Randy. Randy says hands doing a fist bump. Shout out to Randy. I appreciate you, love. I know you out here doing the work. I've talked to you multiple different times. We got a call coming up soon. I love you, Randy. I think that you are absolutely awesome, and continue to grind, baby girl. Let me see. Tarus says it's tough to upload your true self on a social media platform, flaws or not. At least you don't run from it like a lot of others. I am what I am. I am what I am. They gonna love me. They gonna adore me when I'm gone. They gonna break down all of my videos and all of the insight and information that y'all been getting in real time all throughout the years. They may not like me right now. They may hate me right now, but they gonna love me when I'm gone. I'm gonna be a legend. I promise you. Young Director said free water, free lights, free land. Shout out to you guys. I appreciate you for the fireball. Thank you for the super chats and everybody that continues to hold me down. Thank you for the one dislike that I just got. I appreciate you helping me in the YouTube algorithm. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications, and then more importantly, tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. That one dislike that they just got, that's God pricking their soul. That's that fire and that brimstone pricking their soul. It is burning within them. And they hate themselves for it. They hate themselves for having to come in here and watch me tell them about themselves. And then holding up the mirror to them, and they didn't like what they seen, and so they hit the dislike button as a result of it. Shout out to the demons and the devils that's being convicted right now, because we trying to drive that far, far, far out of you. We gonna get you. We gonna get you. Shout out to Kobe Jordan says, preacher, Kirk Franklin voice. I appreciate y'all. Let's get it. Let's rock out. Let's continue to do great things. So one of the things that I like to do is I like to wait until all of the evidence come out before I start to have conversations about specific things. What y'all will realize over time is that I'm not always even remotely one of the first or the second or the third people that wind up reporting information or talking to giving my opinion on it. Even when it came to this whole shit show that happened over the past weekend. But I tend to wait, and I wait for everybody else to get all of the views and everything like that. Thank you, Whoopi Rock. I'm definitely going to be reading super chats throughout the show. I tend to wait until after all of the views and everything comes out, and then I start to have a conversation and give my perspective, because I'll have more context in order to talk about, right? Somebody asked me earlier, they said, where did I get this hoodie? I want to tell y'all where I got the hoodie, but they haven't paid me for it. This is actually like real Lego type material on this. Like it's actual like real things. If you can see the little Lego things. I want to tell y'all where I got my R2D2 hoodie, but they haven't paid me for it. So tell them to send a check, and then I'll start talking about where it is that I got it. Shout out to Derek T. I see the super chat. I got the 85 inch right there now, so I don't have to look back and forth at the laptop. I can see what everything is coming up in real time. So shout out to the studio for me being able to create a better space for me to have a conversation with y'all. And that way I don't have to keep turning my head back and forth from the mic, and y'all can hear me clearly the whole time. But I'm going to be reading super chats throughout the show. Nashville shooter. I'm going to play the news, and then we're going to break it down, because there's some thoughts that I have based off of what's going on, all right? Make sure y'all hit a like for the YouTube algorithm, turn on your notifications, and let's get it, ladies and gentlemen.
And we begin this morning with the latest on that devastating school shooting in Nashville, Tennessee. This morning, we're getting our first look at the disturbing new surveillance video of the suspect. We do want to warn you, the video is upsetting. Yeah, it shows the shooter, a former student, police say.
Now, what you're seeing right now, you will not see any children in this video at all. It has been modified and edited in order to make sure that it doesn't trigger anybody or make anybody feel a certain type of way, because this is a sensitive subject and this is real life. This is not our opinion. This is the facts of what's been being presented. The surveillance footage has recently been released from the shooter. This is actually the shooter shooting through the windows or the doors in order to be able to get into the school, okay? It is not going to show any kind of impacts. This is just a surveillance footage of how the shooter got in and then walking around inside of the building. So this isn't anything that shows or depicts violence itself, but this is real surveillance footage that has been released by the police and the school in order to show you how the person got into the school, all right? So let's continue.
shooting out the doors of the school and wandering through the halls with what appears to be an assault-style rifle. Investigators say the suspect, Audrey Hale, was killed by officers as they were rushing into the building.
I'm going to read your super chat shortly.
We know the victims include 3 students, all 9.
Look at this, y'all. Look at this travesty. Fantasy Island Girl, I see you. Joseph, I see you. Think about this for a minute while we breaking this down, all right? I want to stop here. A Christian school being attacked. Children, 3 children, 3 adults. A Christian school being attacked by somebody that allegedly is identifying as trans. I'm going to continue to play this. But think about this for a minute, y'all. We tussle, we fight, we go back and forth. We talk about black and white and, you know, who for the streets and who not. And that's all good, fun conversation. I enjoy it. I like it. It is like a comedic relief for me to be able to talk about those things because it takes us away from the reality of what we have to deal with every single day. The thing that I choose to tackle with regard to this conversation is the fact that Christians have long been, and it still is, the gospel, Jesus. They trying to remove it from your money. They already removed prayer from the schools. And now you have literal demons. Literal demons running up in your schools and shooting your children. Take that in for a minute. As you watch the video and you see, as a matter of fact, let's do this. Let's just show the footage in its entirety of the person that is walking in with their hat to the back and a camo style fatigue zone, walking
Metro
around
Nashville
in the school.
Police releasing surveillance video of the moments leading up to the shooting there at the Covenant School, that grade school that left 3 young children dead and 3 administrators dead as
Fantasy, sometimes I use my iPhone, and the iPhone is actually much clearer than this. And sometimes I use my Sony A6100s. Right here, this is a Sony A6100. Sometimes I use my iPhone. The iPhones is sometimes way clearer. So I'll show you the iPhone footage in a minute.
As well. We want to show you that right now. We want to just warn you that this is very graphic and viewer discretion is advised. It does show the moments the shooter entered the school and began looking around. Let's watch. Okay, so there you can see the vehicle the shooter drove, that 28-year-old from Nashville, driving up in the parking lot here.
And what is that, a Prius? What is that, a Prius?
Of the school. This was released just moments ago by the Metro Nashville Police Department. The shooter, who the police identified as Audrey E. Hale, saying that the individual identifies as transgender, entered the building by firing through a side door. There you see it.
That's crazy.
The shooter walks in, kicks the glass, armed with 2 assault-style weapons and a handgun. That's according to John Drake. He's the Nashville Police Department chief there.
Look how calm this person is just walking around. Look how calm this person is just walking around. Listen, we got the Asian hate crime bill. We got the victim Olympics. When are we going to start being protected for our kids and our church folk? When is the church folk and the kids going to start being protected? You mean to tell me that every single day that I let my child, I send her off to school and I do all of this other type of stuff. It is a possibility. You telling me that the most vulnerable amongst us are the ones that's being preyed on? The most vulnerable amongst us are the ones that's being preyed on. Black Beauty said, who sent them? The devil. The devil. The most vulnerable amongst us are the ones that's being preyed on. We're sitting here advocating for, we had a whole presidential campaign basically with the Obama administration in which they spent a large majority of their advocacy towards advocating for rights for people to do whatever it is that they want to do when they want to do it. But we can't get no protection for our children. We spend literally billions upon billions of dollars saving and helping people to protect them from themselves that are in self-inflicted wounds, but we can't get nothing done, nothing on the table as far as making sure that our kids are safe in school, that our churches is taken care of, that our Christian organizations that are under attack, and even you being able to have an opinion from freedom of speech is protected. We spend billions every single year on stuff that don't even matter. We fight on the internet about whether or not Pearl called you an African or not.
So remember, the police identified 6 victims in this shooting there, the shooter, and you can see.
That's crazy.
Bracing the weapon, the sirens, it looks like, going off there.
Insane.
And remember, viewer discretion is advised. This literally just happened this morning, and emotions are still raw and still very, very fresh for this community, as now they are seeing this as well. The moments that 28-year-old shooter walked into the Covenant School there in Metro Nashville and started shooting.
That's wild.
There it looks like they pass some type of front entrance. This is at a private Christian elementary school. Okay, so that is the first video released by Metro Nashville Police.
Think about this for a second, y'all. A 28-year-old went into a private Christian school and killed 3 children plus adults. What is happening? If you don't think that it is a war that is happening right beneath your feet, even outside of Ukraine, that it is a war based off of principalities, that it is demonic powers that are possessing what is going on within our society today, you are insane. If you don't think that there's real spirits, demonic spirits, generational curses that is passed down person to person, generation to generation, that is not really taking over what it is that we see happening in real life, you are insane.
Nashville police, Keith, identify the shooter as 28-year-old Audrey Hale, who police say identifies as transgender. That news.
Just give me a second. Just give me a second. Because, I mean, gosh, of all the things that could possibly happen in the world, even if you want to say, okay, it used to be women and children, but women wanted to advocate for equal. What? See how being out of place? I can't even say women and children is supposed to be off limits anymore because y'all want it to be equal. Women want to be equal with men. Women want to be men. Men want to be women. I seen a TLC video last night that I almost did a whole live stream on, but of a couple was looking for an extra husband. And then a black man that was broken that couldn't even hold down a marriage joined the couple because she seen something in him that was broken that she needed to fix. Man, if this ain't the most fucked up society that I've ever seen in my entire life, I don't know what is. When I'm looked at as the crazy man, but I'm the only person that's actually trying to do it the right way and advocate for people to do it the right way, you know society is fucked up. What? They said I'm crazy. Look at this.
Has already.
I guarantee you there's more people that identify with this person and they only going to be selectively outraged because of what happened to the children. But I guarantee you it's a lot of people that was identifying with this 27-year-old monster that went in and shot up a Christian private school.
He prompted some attacks against the trans community. KPRC2's Bryce Newberry picks up our coverage from here.
Demonstrators at the Texas state capitol Monday fighting against anti-trans bills being considered by state lawmakers as news broke that the Nashville school shooter identifies as transgender.
It doesn't excuse anything that happened. I am concerned about how opposition and people who are anti-trans will try to spin this.
Think about what I don't even know what it is. Listen, what you just heard is a travesty. And let me tell you why. They were more concerned about their rights than the lives of the children. They don't give a fuck about the kids. They don't know their name. They don't give a fuck about them. We completely forgot about Shanquella Robinson. Don't know what the fuck is going on with her father. We don't know nothing about that. Black people spent more energy last week on feeling a certain type of way. Listen, I seen whole panels, mob rules panels on that, but it was no kind of, y'all leaders, the people that y'all follow on social media, these motherfuckers ain't did one stream, ain't did one check, ain't wrote one letter, ain't contacted one congressman on fucking Shanquella Robinson. Ain't never called the police to get the homies off the street in their own fucking neighborhood, but they sitting here having a conversation about somebody that ain't got no power to determine their own lives. You got a whole person on here with this transgender thing. They're more concerned about making sure that they maintain power than they are about the kids. They don't care about the parents. What about the one black man that was on that screen? It was a black man on that screen that got killed. Anybody know his name? Hold on, let's go back to it. Give me a second. Let's see if we can find it.
And we begin this morning.
Hold on, let me see if I can see it. Where was it at?
Include three.
Anybody know his name? Anybody blew up this guy's name right here? Anybody know this black guy's name? Y'all know this guy's name? Who is this guy? Who is this black man that got killed in this Christian school? Anybody know that guy's name? At all? At all. Nobody cares about him, right? His life is meaningless because we up here chasing fucking Nick Fuentes. Let me tell you about Nick Fuentes. Nick Fuentes, and one of the reasons why I won't have him on the platform and I won't even invite him, he's nothing. He's nobody. He has no control over what happens in your life. He don't even have control over whether or not he can get a voice on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube. He's begging for money. Nick Fuentes is nothing. He has a net worth of nothing. Now that Kanye has kicked him out of his life because he realized, listen, I don't really fuck with this dude anyway. Y'all sitting here worried about Nick Fuentes? Don't you know the KKK has no power whatsoever? Nick Fuentes. It's people literally replacing the power structure with their own agendas, and we don't even know the names of the fucking kids. Nobody even knows what happened to the people that killed Shanquella Robinson. Listen to what Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene said. How much hormones like testosterone and medications for mental illness, was the transgender Nashville school shooter taking? Everyone can stop blaming guns now. Nobody gives a fuck about the Christian school or the kids or the janitor. Nobody knows about the janitor. Nobody cares. Nobody cares.
Concern about tweets like this from GOP Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, writing, "How much hormones like testosterone and medications for mental illness was the transgender Nashville school shooter taking? Everyone can stop blaming guns now."
The comparison of they did it because they're trans is very unfair to trans people.
Andrea Segovia from the...
It is unfair to trans people. It's not unfair to the kids that lost their life. We don't give a fuck about them. It's not unfair to the parents who had to come and find out whether or not their kid was shot up. Don't mean nothing. Somebody in the chat said Black Lives Matter is silent. When the last time y'all heard from Black Lives Matter? Or are we only going to see them resurrect themselves and renamed as a different organization when election season come around in order to be able to rile y'all up and be able to do the same thing that they've been doing to y'all for the past 50 years?
Transgender Education Network of Texas joined Monday's battle
Look
at
at
the
this
Capitol, fighting House Bill 6.
They over there doing they got the same rhythm as the hopscotch people. They out there doing chants. Look at this. They are united. They are united. They are practically advocating for the person that just committed the crime because they're fighting for rights on a time when they're supposed to be holding down and giving condolences to the people that actually just lost their life. Don't you know that this agenda has literally replaced everything that y'all thought was relevant about what y'all were fighting for black people? They getting more bills passed, they getting more rights, they getting more advocacy, and they getting more eyes on them than y'all ever gonna get when it comes to reparations. You're not getting a dime, homie. You're not getting 1 penny for reparations at all. Forget about it. The kids will make more. We don't care how many kids actually get massacred at a Christian private school. I wonder if the fact that it's a Christian private school actually reduces the coverage that it's going to get as far as the advocacy and the highlighting from all of your major representatives. Ooh. Shout out to all of the super chats. I'm definitely going to be reading them throughout the show. Shout out to Mark Smith. I appreciate you, big dog.
1686, which would block doctors from providing gender transition healthcare treatment to children. Now, with another reason for the Texas trans community to be in the spotlight and at least 2 months remaining of the legislative session, advocates worry the attacks aren't over.
You can't say that because one person did something that's a characteristic or reason to be cruel to trans people.
And tonight, while facts about the Nashville shooting are still surfacing, the Human Rights Campaign says trans people are much more likely to be victims of violence rather than perpetrators. Writing in a statement, regardless of the reason for this shooting, the use of violence is reprehensible, and we renew our call for common sense gun safety legislation.
So, now that you see what they really feel about you and your children, the question then becomes, where's your outrage and what you gonna do about it? Listen, I'd love to see the same amount of energy that y'all had. I mean, boy, y'all was fighting, and if it's about a woman or if Fresh and Fit throw somebody out or little baby get arrested or anything like that, white people say, I don't like you, you're gonna be all up in trance and y'all gonna march up and down they lawn, even though you can't even get to them because they overseas. Where is the energy for the things that are actually affecting your real life in real life? Where's that energy? Where's the energy that actually determines what's going to happen to you and your children and how safe your children is going to be when they go out to school every day? Whether or not you can actually practice the faith that you believe in, and whether or not you're going to be canceled if you feel a certain type of way or even think a certain type of thing that then comes out of your mouth about a group that doesn't necessarily agree with you or care about you because they're protesting for their rights, and we have to make sure that we get the bills passed in order to make sure that they're protected. Asians got a bill passed before black people could. Asians got a bill passed for them on their behalf before black people ever could. Meanwhile, the NAACP is giving out image awards to Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union for their kids. Roland Martin is showing up on Vlad TV, making sure that he work with his oppressor. Y'all so bold. Y'all so fake. Y'all so fucking fake. Y'all so fake. Y'all so fake. So fake. Oh my God. This fake outrage is so corny. If I ain't never seen corny before in my life, it is what it is. Miss Jill 1991 says, and the Asians ain't even marched or voted or nothing. They ain't outside with no picket signs. They ain't did nothing. You ain't seen one Asian march. You ain't seen one Asian march at all. Not even a little bit. They ain't talking. They buying up everything. They controlling power and they voting. They not negotiating with y'all. You ain't seen one Asian on the internet with that fake outrage acting like somebody disrespected them. You know what they do? They contact their local representative. They get together with their lobbyists. They buy up whole fucking neighborhoods. They own all of the businesses. They buying up Africa. You mad they buying up your country. The country you from that you offended that somebody calls you ain't even owned by the people that you think is offending you. The person that ain't even got no power is the person that talked about you. But then the people that actually is buying and owning up your country, Saudi oil and Chinese Asians are buying up the whole fucking country. They buying up America. They buying up China. They devaluing your dollar. Every single country is aligning with China in order to try to align themselves against the United States of America in order to start World War III. And you're sitting here getting mad at people that ain't even got no power about you. Don't you know that white people is like number 43rd and you 47 when it comes to the people that is the lowest on the totem pole as far as real wealth and generated as far as household income? Go look at your census. Go look at the census. They make like $4,000 more a year than your average person. Meanwhile, Asian households on average is destroying everything. They are at the top of the totem. Indian and Asian households are at the top of the totem pole. India, Russia, and China is literally trying to recruit India in order to align themselves against the United States of America. And you have no fucking clue about what's happening. Ukraine is begging for fighter jets from the United States of America. We left literally billions and billions of dollars of equipment over in Afghanistan when we pulled out. And you're sitting here talking about somebody that has no power over you. Your kids can't even go to school, and you over there flying over to Miami to go and get you a BBL. And I got to switch airlines because I don't want to sit next to, or I got to make sure that I ride first class because I don't want to sit next to a bitch that's sitting there on her knees and can't even sit in her seat right because she couldn't afford to actually get the care she was supposed to get when she flew down there to go and get her BBL. And we sitting here talking about what again? What? You fighting for something that you ain't never gonna get. Fuck your reparations. Now what? What you gonna do about it? Do something about it. You can't get no bill passed. All you gonna do is rah-rah against me and try me. Fucking try me. I will burn down every fucking channel on this fucking internet. I'm not the roommates. I'm not fucking Pearl. I will burn you to the ground. Get me pissed off. Try me. Because I'm all for that action, boss. I'll be your Huckleberry. Try me. I will burn your whole fucking entire network down. I will burn every follower that you have. I have a whole fucking army behind me. Try me. I dare you. What you gonna do about it? Now what? The same thing that you're doing to that white man that you go to when you beg for a paycheck every fucking weekend. That's what you're going to do. You can't even control whether or not you feed yourself. And you sitting here crying and whining and begging, sitting up on a panel advocating. You don't even own your own fucking home. You can't even decide whether or not you get kicked out of your own home with eminent domain. You can't even afford to pay your rent on month to month. You one paycheck away from losing your whole life. Fuck out of here with y'all fake outrage, fake woke. I want to be recognized as, but ain't even really got no results. Punk ass bitches. Man, ain't nobody checking for what y'all talking about. Ain't nobody checking for what you talking about because nobody takes you serious because you have no real power other than whining on an application that you don't even know who owns. You whining on an application that they let you talk on. If YouTube went away today, half of you motherfuckers would be broke. In a month, everything would be gone. Miss me with the bullshit. That fake energy. Miss me with all of that fake energy. Some of you niggas that's sitting here whining on the internet, I put you on. We wouldn't even know you existed if it wasn't for me. Fake woke. Ain't really got no real energy for the things that's going to change the lives of black people. Ain't never hired a black person in your life. Ain't never gave $50 to a black person in your life. You ain't never actually put no money in nobody else's pocket and you sitting here whining. Whew. Miss me with that fake woke shit. Miss me. Miss me with that fake woke shit. Let me hold off. Sometimes I get in the mood for some smoke, right? I get in the mood for that smoke, right? I'm built for it. We can do it. Let me read these super chats and then we're going to get on with the show. Let me see what we got here. Whoopi Rock 1 says, thank you for your spirit of love and being you, Anton. Much love. Thank you, Whoopi Rock, and I appreciate you. For my people that's overseas, I appreciate y'all. Derek T says, got love for your time, dog. Been rocking with you since July 2021. I remember. Can we get Jacqueline plans in the Patreon as well? We can. Jacqueline is dope. I know she came up a few months ago. I love Jackie. That's my girl. I was actually talking to her the other day. And she beautiful. Fantasy Island Girl says, hey, Anton, what camera are you using? The quality is perfect. Right now, I'm using the Sony A6100. I got about 5 of them. I got 5 Sony A6100s. I use them to do my interviews and stuff like that. And so they actually dope. Sometimes when I'm live streaming at the crib, that crisp quality that you see me when I'm live streaming at the home and I'm not in the office, I'm actually just using an iPhone. Let me see. Joseph Beslow Jr. says, we're in a time of reprobate minds, demonic spirits, and walking dead. It's imperative to be closer to the will of God and hate the world. I agree 100%. Thank you for the fireball. Aaron says, when I bust down a few million, I'm taking you, my mentors, and some bag chasers on a yacht party. We're going to be partying like Diddy. Shout out to my dog, Aaron. You out there killing it. Let me make sure I recognize all of the super chats. I don't want to miss anyone. Ian with the fireball says, this may sound crazy, but I find it weird that this happens before Congress makes a vote against the ATF making 40 million Americans felons. Nothing is ironic, bro. Everything is timing. Mark Smith says, we're in Sodom and Gomorrah and the sulfur and fire is incoming. Thank you for the 10 ball. My friend Forsaken Archive says, they need to bring out the electric chair for those people who commit these type of crimes. They just need to take them off the face of the earth. We don't even want them sitting there going through a whole bunch of appeals, man, to be honest with you. Because they wasting taxpayer dollars with us actually feeding them on a regular basis. Kenneth Percival says, good morning and happy birthday, big coach. My birthday is actually April. It's actually coming up. So good morning to my friends and family. I appreciate you. Accountability Partner says, just stopping through. My support will never waver, big dog. Much love. Good conversation topic today. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate you also, Accountability Partner. You always hold me down. Ronnie Robinson says, good morning, Mr. Anton. You are definitely preaching this morning. Much love. Thank you for the 10 ball, my friend. Tayo says, be careful, Anton. Tariq Nasheed gonna make a video on you and start calling you a tether. I don't even know what Tariq Nasheed do. I have never actually watched the video, so I don't have smoke for Tariq Nasheed because Tariq Nasheed has never done anything in my purview that would cause for me to have smoke. So it would be unwarranted, but whatever happens, happens. You know me. I ain't tripping about none of that. Kobe Jordan says, no more middle class, no more lukewarm. Pick a side. Facts. And the middle class has been going away for a long time. Khalil's racing with the 10 ball. I appreciate you. I also want to give an acknowledgement to everybody that's been super chatting me, or not super chatting me, cash apping me. I got to acknowledge the people that cash at me, and I'm going to recognize some of the actual amounts too. Mike, that dude, you hold me down with the 5 ball. Thank you, my friend. Jasmine, I appreciate you, Jasmine. Thank you for the cash app with the 20 ball. You are absolutely awesome. Bryant Horsley with the 100 ball. Brian, I appreciate you. I appreciate you, honestly. Thank you, Brian, with the honey ball. Says for Chef AD cooking this morning. Appreciate you. Brian Horsley, you are much appreciated. I never asked for anything from y'all, but the fact that y'all give so willingly is, I have to extend my appreciation. So let me also give a shout out to Tommy Jean Jones. I appreciate you, love. Says for I've been watching all your channels and enjoying with the 10 ball. Junille Chauncey for YouTuber Pan-Africanism strikes as a fan of yours with the 5 ball. I know who Pan-Africanism is. That's my dog. I appreciate him. He cool. Let me also acknowledge a couple more. Mike, that dude, also sent another 5 ball. And Omar Gearing says icing for the guidance, sent 115. Terry Miller III said, I appreciate the game and the knowledge you give out, sent the 25 ball. And I think that's it. That's it. So thank y'all for all of the cash apps, the super chats, for everybody that continue to hold me down. Also want to give an acknowledgement to Alpha King Rob with the 10 ball. Thank you. Again, I do like to read the super chats throughout the show just to acknowledge y'all. You guys are absolutely awesome. Make sure you tap into the Patreon. The link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. We are doing a live stream this weekend with Pocket Watching with JT to answer all of your financial questions on how it is that you guys are supposed to set things up and do things appropriately from a business perspective. And then also, Lamar Black Attack says, your loyalty is amazing. That's why you are who you are. Thank you, Lamar Black Attack. You are absolutely awesome. Thank you, my friend. I also want to give a shout out to Kazagai, Danny Eric. Danny Eric is in the building with the 30 ball. Thank you, my friend. You didn't even say nothing. You just dropped off a bag for me. I appreciate you. You guys are awesome. And I am going to continue to read super chats throughout the show because no matter whether you give $1 or whether you give whatever you give, it is much appreciated. It does not go without recognition. And I'm not one of those type of people that's just going to skip over you. You don't have to give anything. And again, I don't ask you guys to give anything. You guys just show your appreciation. So thank you. Let me get into another part of the show. Actually, I'm gonna play this first, okay? I'm gonna play this first. I prayed for calmness this morning, but I can't contain myself sometimes. My passion gets the best of me and I start talking my shit. Listen, I ask for forgiveness. I don't ask for permission. Gotta tell you, every day I get on my knees before I go to bed, and then when I wake up in the morning and I ask God to forgive me for my transgressions. Please, God, help me to change my ways and help me to become a better person. But allow for me also to unleash this venom so that we can have the impact that we need to have in order to change somebody's life. Not everybody's life, but somebody's life. Shout out to Levite Apparel. I'm definitely going to be reading your super chat also. But I want to, and Aaron, I appreciate you. I want to play this first, and then I'm going to get into Umar Johnson's perspective about what's going on with Jonathan Majors. Make sure y'all check out the Q show from the Anton Daniels channel last night. She was cooking.
We have new developments in the arrest of actor Jonathan Majors. His lawyer saying there is evidence that proves he is completely innocent of the alleged assault charge.
Eyewitness News reporter Amy Powell is live in the newsroom with the latest details. Amy?
Michelle and Jory, an attorney representing Jonathan Majors, is speaking out, saying the domestic violence charges are false. She says evidence, including video footage, will prove that the actor is innocent. Jonathan Majors was arrested in New York on Saturday. Police filing charges against him, including assault and harassment. The accusations made by a 30-year-old woman. Majors has starring roles in high-profile Hollywood movies, including the recently released Ant-Man film and Creed 3.
Now, let me ask y'all a question as we go through this before we play Umar Johnson's response, because I haven't seen Umar Johnson's response, but I thought that Umar Johnson would have a pretty interesting take on it. I disagree with Umar Johnson, as y'all already know, on a lot of things, but I've agreed with him on a lot of things, especially with regard to Dwayne Wade. So I'm interested in reacting to what Umar Johnson said in real time. But what do y'all think about this? Allegedly, he's the one that called the police on her, and then he was the one that wound up getting arrested. And it's all so suspicious that it just happens that he's at the top of the food chain when it comes to the most sought after and the dopest actors that's on the scene right now. Coincidence?
To police sources, the 33-year-old actor made a 911 call to report concern about his girlfriend, whom he lives with. When officers arrived at his penthouse apartment, the girlfriend alleged that Majors physically attacked her in a taxi.
Here's a personal question for you.
Out of concern about the allegations, the U.S. Army says it has pulled 2 new recruiting ads featuring Majors.
So it's already messing up his bag. He had an endorsement with the United States Army, and they've already pulled 2 new ads that was supposed to feature Jonathan Majors because a woman said something. Didn't prove it. Actually, it was said that she retracted whatever her statement was, in which he actually did something, so we don't know what happened. Again, allegedly, he's the one that called the police. But the question that we have to ask ourselves, even beyond, because I know that Umar Johnson is probably going to tackle this from an industry perspective, from a Hollywood perspective, from the powers that be perspective, and this is just my guess. But the question that you have to ask yourself every single time, is the downfall of every great man in the hands of a woman? Historically, not even just recently with modern times, is the downfall of every great man in the hands of a woman?
An attorney representing Majors says the actor is not guilty of the charges, issuing a statement saying Jonathan Majors is completely innocent and is provably the victim of an altercation with a woman he knows. We are quickly gathering and presenting evidence to the district attorney.
What's up, Bella?
With the expectation that all charges will be dropped.
Hey, Bella.
And Jonathan Majors has been released from custody. He's set for a court appearance in May.
Let me go over to Umar Johnson because I want to get his take on this thing, and then we're going to go from there. All right? Make sure y'all hit a like for the YouTube algorithm, subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications, and then we definitely want you to tap into the Patreon.
They snow bunnied our brother Jonathan Majors. They snow bunnied our brother Jonathan Majors.
Boy, one thing you can't say about Umar Johnson is that he's not entertaining. You cannot say that Umar Johnson is not entertaining. That is one thing that you can't say.
They snow bunnied our brother Jonathan Majors. I just heard that the U.S. military dropped a series of ads that Jonathan Majors was in promoting their new recruiting campaign. So the military dropped his ads. I think they're going to try to destroy the brother. Now, I don't condone bunny hopping. Those of you who know me know I absolutely do not condone bunny hopping. Black men have no business, have absolutely no business with snow bunnies.
Now, 2 questions that I have before we continue this hilarious video. Because I don't have a snow bunny. I've actually married a black woman. I have a black child. I've been married for the last almost 19 years. It'll be 19 years in June. So that's one thing that they can't hold over me, right? I wonder, you know what I wonder sometimes? How do you call, because one thing that I get called a lot of times, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words may never hurt me. One thing that I get called all the time is a coon. How come they don't call the billionaire guy that owns the Weather Channel a coon? How come I'm the person that's actually building up black families, hiring black people, pushing black women, holding them accountable, making sure that they actually got everything that they need, helping people get married? How do I get called a coon when I'm actually the one that's bringing the resources back and pouring it into my people? That's so weird to me. But the one thing that I have a question about, Joe, first and foremost is, does the Passport Bros or all of the black community, do they have any smoke for Umar Johnson because he's telling you that he don't condone you sleeping outside of black women? Now, he didn't say that he doesn't condone you sleeping outside of Byron Allen. That's his name. Thank you, NT. He didn't say he didn't condone sleeping with and impregnating women outside of marriage and creating single parent households. He said he don't condone bunny hopping. The other question that I have is, because I have not seen who Jonathan Majors' girlfriend is Jonathan Majors actually in a relationship with a white woman? Because y'all probably would know better than I would. But let me continue with what he got to say.
Absolutely no business dating outside the race. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But be that as it may, an attack on one black man is an attack on all black men. An attack on one black man is an attack on all black men.
Okay.
An attack on one black man is an attack on all black men. My brothers, we can't make it this easy. I'm not saying black women are not guilty of the same behavior. I'm not saying that.
He actually
But
said,
what I do know,
now you know that black women gonna be mad at that one, Umar, because they don't probably the ones that hit the cash app.
is black women are least likely to want to see a black man destroyed the way in which these snow bunnies have been destroying successful black men.
He got his cape on hard today, boy. What? 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 Oh, come on, man. Y'all not going to let that one fly. Y'all not going to let that one fly, are y'all? Chat. Pro-black people. Manosphere people. Because I'm none of these people, right? I don't consider myself a manosphere. I'm not pro anything except for pro bag chasers, pro Jesus. Come on, family. Come on, boy. What is he on and smoking today?
Yes, there's black women capable of the same behavior, but on average, in general, black women, most decent black women don't want to see black men humbled.
How many of them are actually decent then? See, he throwing the extra words and syllables, and because I'm a C student, I can't grasp it. I see y'all with the super chats. I'm going to definitely be reading it shortly. Come on, good doc. I love reacting to Umar Johnson videos. It is the most entertaining videos that I've seen on the internet by far. And he never fails to throw me a curveball. The only video that he's ever done where I agree with 100% of everything that he said was when he was talking about Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union and what was going on with the NAACP and the black people with that. But sometimes he be right and sometimes I disagree with him. I'm not going to say he's wrong because it's all opinion. But boy, if he didn't put his cape on for the black women to hit the cash app tonight, I don't know what is.
This way. Now, they say that the snow bunny went to the hospital for some minor scars or blemishes. Now, Jonathan Majors is a pretty athletic brother, works out, very strong. If he choked out a snow bunny, I'm pretty sure the evidence would be obvious. Pale people bruise easily. Pale people bruise easily. Pale people bruise easily. So if Jonathan Majors...
Oh, this gotta be like the best entertainment on the internet. I needed this laugh. After what it is that we just witnessed with regard to the shooting in Nashville and all of that, I needed this laugh.
He just smacked this woman up, gripped her up, choked her up, as alleged. She should have purple bruises, red bruises, hand marks, finger marks. Pale people bruise easily. So if they're saying that there's hardly any bruises, then no way in hell am I inclined to believe that this brother is guilty of these allegations. But in the Me Too era, in the Me Too era, where white supremacy wears one of its favorite disguises, which is feminism. In the Me Too era, where white supremacy wears one of its favorite disguises, which is feminism, they now try, convict, and sentence black men in the court of public opinion. Jonathan Majors has already been lynched in the court of public opinion. Why?
No, he hasn't. Ain't nobody turning against Jonathan Majors. I don't see one person that's saying Jonathan Majors is still not that dude. Now, I will give Umar Johnson this. In my personal opinion, and I've stated this before, listen, I got just as much smoke for all types of people across the board. I think that if you just look at the sheer numbers, black women have largely done black men more wrong overall across the board as far as sheer numbers. The other side of the conversation, though, is I think that white women are more vicious. I think that white women are way more vicious when it comes to revenge, disrespect. They will try to take every dime. I had this conversation with Tiger Woods with his little girlfriend, his little thing. I think that white women tend to be way more vicious when it, not even just with black men, just with men in general. I think white women are way more vicious. They way more vengeful. They way more vicious. I don't know what's in them. I don't know what's gotten into them. I think that white women are 10 times more vicious than black women. I'm all right. Thanks.
Why did the military cancel his ad campaign? Same thing happened with Michael Irvin. Now, Michael Irvin, yes, he's a white man's black man, obviously. Not an example of what we want to see our men be like in our community, the way in which he jumped up for Jerry Jones and Jerry Jones didn't jump up for him. But for Michael Irvin to be removed from Super Bowl coverage, for Michael Irvin to be removed from Super Bowl coverage,
I agree. 100%.
For Michael Irvin to be removed from Super Bowl coverage without any strong evidence to prove the allegations was absolutely insane.
If I was Jonathan Majors, I would have that hoe threw out on her head ASAP. Right after as soon as this, I would play the game. I would play chess. I would stick with her long enough to make sure that she was accountable or she made this whole thing go away, because she already probably messed up a bag. She certainly messed up a bag with the Army or whatever. I don't think anything is ever going to happen to Jonathan Majors. He's just the hottest thing on the block right now. And so as a result, any news is going to be big news if anything comes out about Jonathan Majors. However, right after that, she will be completely removed. And again, I don't know if he's talking to a white woman or not, but she would be completely removed from out of my life. She would be thrown out on her head.
Absolutely insane. Black men are guilty until proven innocent. And see, what's bothering me, my brothers? What's bothering me, my brothers? This is King Kong Consciousness live from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. What bothers me the most about the Michael Irvin situation, what bothers me the most about the Jonathan Major situation, totally preventable. Totally preventable.
How? What,
totally
are you not gonna talk to
preventable.
no women? How?
Snow bunny hunting is the most dangerous form of hunting you can do in the United States of America.
And now, first of all, he's wrong. He's wrong. He's dead wrong. It is not preventable. It could literally happen to anybody. As a matter of fact, one of the people that it happened to is the Duke lacrosse team. It happens every single day. Women accuse men, especially when they jealous, when they mad, when they feeling a certain type of way, when they going through things, they will throw away everything that you worked for your entire life. Everything you worked for your entire life. I got a story lined up for y'all tomorrow that I got in the archives. I see women weaponizing, black women weaponizing kids against men. I see white women weaponizing kids against men. I see white women for the streets, black women for the streets. Boy, I just think it's Western culture. I honestly think it's Western culture. I don't think it has anything to do with whether you're black or white. I think it has something to do with Western culture.
As a black man, it is more dangerous to hunt for a snow bunny than it is to hunt for a lion, a tiger, a bear. The most dangerous form of hunting for the black men in America is snow bunny hunting. Michael Irvin didn't do nothing but have a conversation. But why did you need a conversation with the bunny?
Somebody says, check this out. Somebody says, I hope your wife ain't listening too. I'm Anton from AntonDaniels.com. Y'all think I'm worried about a woman listening to me? Hey, Rita. You over there? Yeah. Can you hear me? Yeah. Am I telling a lie? I ain't told one lie. Ain't told one lie. I ain't y'all. I'm not y'all. Listen, I'm married, but I ain't never been no simp. I ain't never been no bitch. I ain't never been nobody's sucker. I run this shit here. You just live here. Please don't put me in the same category as your favorite simp because I'm not he. He is not me. I am him. I run this shit here. I hope your wife ain't listening. I hope your wife ain't listening. Lady, woman, queen. With your braids in your hair. Let me look at you for a minute. Let me look at your profile picture while you sitting here telling me what my wife should be doing and what she ain't listening to. Let me see what we working with over here. Woman, queen. Ma'am, listen, respectfully. This ain't what you want to do. This is not what you want to do today. Listen, it's a lot of days that I'm willing to deal with the bullshit. Today ain't one of them. I didn't sleep well last night. I'm feeling some type of way. I'm in that type of mood. Y'all better leave me alone. Y'all better leave me the fuck alone. I'm trying to tell you, I will burn this motherfucker to the ground. Y'all think that y'all little comments is just going to be dicking and dodging all through the crowd and all of that type of shit. I will burn this shit to the ground. So, ma'am, you have one opportunity, one shot to give it everything you ever wanted. Like Eminem. I am not for the bullshit today, all right, ma'am? Okay, ma'am? So let it go. Let it go. Let it go. All right? That's your one shot, your one opportunity to give it everything you ever wanted. I will put you on the Summer Jam screen. I'm not blocking trolls no more. I'm fucking torching you motherfuckers. Y'all don't need to be blocked. Y'all need to be tortured and be put on the Summer Jam screen. Be careful. That's your one shot. Let's get back to Umar Johnson. All right?
The Majors, from what I understand, allegedly he was driving in a cab. But why were you with the snow bunny in the first place? Y'all know these white women are only considering you because you have something to offer them. That is it. You are a fetish at best for the Caucasian female. You are a fetish at best for the Caucasian female. You are a fetish at best for the Caucasian female. See, the white woman who dates the black man is like the white teenager who listens to gangster rap and wears his pants sagging.
You know what I know, though, Dr. Umar Johnson? The one thing that I know for sure, though, is most guys that bust down or have sex with chicks that's outside, it don't matter if the chick's outside of their race, inside of their race, it's reciprocated. Only simps care about what women think when they trying to get whatever it is that they want from them. Only simps care about whether or not you fetishizing the dude. The only thing they care about is getting what they want. All of these situationships that y'all got going outside of marriage is transactional anyway. Like these dudes give a fuck when these white chicks is over there slumming and she taking a whole load from the whole crew. When did they give a fuck about her feelings? I can't relate to what he's saying right now.
It's just a stage in their development. It's just a stage in their development. It's just a season in their lifetime. That's all it is. It's a season in their lifetime.
Good. Because most guys that even pay chicks, he not paying you to stay, he paying you to leave. Her season is up the minute that her season is up the minute that he literally, post-nut clarity is a real thing. And within a millisecond, her season is up too. Why do y'all think that these dudes care? Ladies, let me give y'all a lesson, because this is not the subject that Umar Johnson can give you game on. I'm going to give you the game. Everything that he told you prior to the it was almost all cap. It was some truth in it, but it was almost all cap. If he start looking at his phone, or he suddenly get a phone call that he got to hurry up and run somewhere, or he start asking what time is it? Oh man, I got so much work to do. You not it. You was it until he got his limitless pill, and his limitless pill came literally the millisecond that he stop letting these dudes tell y'all they love y'all. Stop letting these dudes unless you understand that it's transactional. Now, I do believe in leading with truth and tell them exactly what it is. Listen, baby girl, I'm not looking for nothing serious. If you still rocking with me, if something play out in the way it play out, I just want you to know that I'm not leaving my wife for you. Make sure you sign this NDA. There you go. Where's my pen and paper? Sign this NDA. Get that bitch up out of there, man. Get her on up out of there. That's the truth. That is the truth. Stop letting these dudes sell y'all on something that ain't real. It's not real.
So you are literally being destroyed just so a white woman can say she dated a black man. The cost of you dating these women is destruction of your livelihood. What is it about the snow bunny that has you Negroes so up in arms? What is it about bunny hopping that is so attractive to black males? And I ain't got nothing against the Neanderthal female. I have absolutely nothing against the Neanderthal female. Shout out to
my dog. Shout out to my dog. I love this guy. I think that this dude is the next king. I think that Steph is Cold is probably one of the coolest, dopest dudes that I've ever seen in my life. We be kicking it on the back and forth or whatever. Shout out to Steph will tell you, as soon as you get them sweet, watery guts, it's over. Now sign this NDA and get it on moving, because I'm not leaving my wife for you.
But there is nothing positive that comes to the black community as the result of the original man dating the artificial woman. Why would original man want to date artificial woman? Somebody help me out. Somebody help me out. Why would original man want to date artificial woman? Why would original man want to date artificial woman? They ready for me, King? All right.
Let me tell you why they dating artificial women. Because they're not actually dating them. It's transactional. So shout out to Jonathan Majors. I think that Umar Johnson is absolutely hilarious. Let me see if he's going to say hit the Cash App. Give me a second.
So brothers and sisters, I'm about to sign off right now. But I'm standing up for Jonathan Majors because the brother has not been proven to be guilty. The only thing he's guilty of is bunny hopping. Keep your head up, Jonathan Majors. I'm going to go to the movies and watch Ant-Man and the Wasp. I don't even do them movies, but I'm going to do it just to support my brother. Devotion was off the hook. Creed 3 is off the hook. Michael B. Jordan, you better be careful because you're going to be next. Black Power.
Whoa. He didn't even say hit the Cash App. He didn't even say hit the Cash App. Shout out to my dog, Dr. Umar Johnson. Always giving us a level of entertainment that allows for us to mine out how we supposed to be moving in these streets when it comes to black power, right? Fake shit. Nobody care about that shit. Anyways, let me move on. I actually want to get off of Jonathan Majors because I want to add some value to y'all life before we get up out of here. So the last thing that I want to tell y'all and I want to have a conversation with y'all about is salary transparency. This is an important thing, and I want y'all to be able to take this, all right? Let me read some of these super chats before we get up out of here. Levite Apparel says, amazing work. Knowledge is power. I appreciate you, big dog. Aaron says, my friend started an asset management firm a few months ago. Would YouTube be a good platform for marketing? Absolutely, YouTube is a good platform for marketing. Influencer marketing is probably more effective, but we can talk about that inside of the Patreon. Shout out to you, Aaron. DeBo12 says, Ye said it best. Even though you in the Benz, you still a nigga in the coupe. I move with that in the back of my head. No, I'm that nigga in the Benz. For real. Specifically, S3.EP55. Life of Devontae. And you know what's so funny? I was driving by some white people yesterday because I was in a Porsche. I was in an all white on white. I call her, let me tell y'all what the name of my Porsche is. It's literally in the app. Y'all ain't gonna believe me if I don't show it to y'all. The name of my Porsche is Lydia. That's her name, is Lydia. I gave her a white girl name. Her name is Lydia. That's the name of my Porsche. Yes. I was driving by some white people yesterday, and they didn't know it was me. It was like, yeah, get in your punk ass Prius and keep it moving. Shout out to Life of Devontae in the building. Also, Adonis 1909 says Anton got that 1989 Joker laugh. I love you, fam. I love you too, big dog. Let me see. Forsaken Archives says need you to get the doctor some Teej. Y'all say y'all want me to send Dr. Umar Johnson that Teej pack. Philip Sadiq with the 10 ball. I appreciate you always holding me down, big dog. Danzyland, the soil says that hair and cocoa butter face. I can't take him serious. With the Mike Jones repeat button, with him speaking facts. Well, a lot of times he just be dragging it out because he be just trying to kill time. So thank you to you for the 10 ball. Or a Super Saya Isaac says, I'm sorry, but didn't a black woman just end her man on Facebook Live? She did. But hunting snow bunnies is more dangerous. See, I knew y'all was going. See, y'all ain't really mad at Pearl. Y'all not really mad at Pearl. Y'all not mad at her. You know why? Because y'all need y'all pearls. Y'all need y'all pearls. I know what y'all like. Listen, if it's one thing that I know, is I know what these black dudes want. You know how I know? Because the easiest way to be able to get to a man is through a woman. And if I ever want to get a deal done, if I ever want to get him set up, if I ever want to get to his heart, It's two things. I'm not going to tell y'all what the second thing is, but one of the things in order to get to him is get to him either through his girl or through a woman. That's why y'all got to have certain type of women on y'all teams. Y'all got to have certain type of women on y'all teams because I know what make y'all tick. Ain't nothing, listen, it ain't nothing more appealing to a man that don't know what he doing than that milk of magnesia coming on through, filling on. And I'm going to just tell y'all, these white girls today, they'll do anything. Anything. Shout out to you. Arion Woe 218 says, do it, Anton. You ain't gonna do it to her. Raymond Jordan with the fireball says, so we gonna talk about Jonathan Majors and his alleged white woman, but not black woman who just deleted her husband. See, y'all aware. Y'all aware. Levite Apparel says, Anton, I think your video is skipping. No, it ain't my video. It's Dr. Umar Johnson's video. Lucky, shout out to Lucky. She says, I love you, Big Anton. I love it when Lucky call me Big Anton. You see that? Luck know how to talk to a man. Luck be like, I love you, Big Anton. She be saying that shit to me when I be talking to her on the phone. I said, Luck, you can't be talking to me like that. You making me weak because I'm more than likely able to give you a little bit more game, a little bit more insight, try to figure out how I can make things work on your behalf. When you throw the big in front of it, I love you, Big Anton. I said, all right, Luck. I don't call her Luck on the phone. I call her by her real name. We ain't going to talk about that. I ain't going to. Luck, you know I got your back. I ain't telling these people your real name. She said, I love you, Big Anton. I said, I love you, dude. What up, Luck in the building? Yo, shout out to Luck doing her thing over there. Make sure y'all go subscribe to her channel. She doing her thing. Let me get into this other stuff, all right? We got to get to the money, y'all, because I don't want y'all sitting there talking about, oh, this is like church, it's all entertainment, but he didn't give us anything for us to be able to leverage and do what we need to do in order to continue to get our bag up. First of all, you're supposed to hit the Patreon. The link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Anton sleeping on the couch tonight. Never. Boy, I sleep in the box. And when I say the box, I'm not talking about a literal box. I sleep in the box. I sleep in the box. All right. So let's be clear. I want to be able to get this conversation out because there's a lot of talk specifically about the minimum wage being raised to $20 an hour. Y'all know I've been giving y'all the game on inflation. Everything has been popping. So right now there's this big thing and a lot of laws that's being implemented, especially with regard to wage transparency, right? Pay transparency. That means that it gives women another opportunity to be able to go to their employer and say, hey, you paying him this, but why are you paying me this? Historically, wages, especially in corporate America, has largely been negotiated. It's not something that people has, historically just been given. It's always a pay range. That pay range can be based off of your experience. It could be based off of different things and other factors such as who you know, how it is that you approach things and what you've communicated inside of the interview. And I even talk about how you're supposed to negotiate effectively inside of the Patreon and on my coaching calls, how it is that you're supposed to interview, what you can say in order to land that interview every single time. And it's been one of the most impactful videos because everybody that watch it, they watch it prior to and they study it before they go on interviews and they say, yo, they were begging me to come, which then gives you the leverage for you to be able to negotiate your pay package more effectively depending on how high you are in corporate America, right? But let's back up for a minute, all right? Let's go through this, and then I'm going to give you the game and the sauce on how it is that you're supposed to be looking at the hidden cost of pay transparency according to CNBC.
Have you seen a salary range on any job listings lately? That could be because pay transparency laws are becoming more common in the United States.
New York City employers are starting to comply with the new salary transparency laws.
A new pay transparency law in California is giving us an inside look at what some of the biggest companies in the world are paying their employees.
Have y'all noticed that it's always the most liberal cities that's doing this dumb shit? This is not capitalism. This is slowly becoming socialism. It's always New York and California that institute this dumb stuff first.
The rising tide of pay transparency laws could give job seekers more leverage in 2023.
It's okay to ask, and it's also okay to look for that information before you decide whether or not that's a job you really want to go after.
Pay secrecy can allow gender wage gaps, racial wage gaps, various sorts of unfair pay to really flourish.
But some researchers think that these laws could have a downside.
What we found is that people get
reading super chat shortly.
Smaller raises. It slowed wage growth by approximately 1/3.
It's still hard to make sure that people are compensated equitably and fairly.
No, not people being compensated equitably and fairly. Not you, ma'am. Not you. Not you. Reading super chat shortly.
Why are so many people suddenly talking about how much they make? And is there any catch to this news?
Black Beauty, they not underpaying y'all. Y'all are getting paid what y'all worth. Listen, there are women. Let me play the video and then I'm going to break down the sauce for y'all. I'm going to tell you the honest to God truth about why. I'm reading super chats throughout the show, but I'm going to tell you the absolute truth about why you make less than men. But you're going to have to be open to the truth, though. I don't want y'all to get in y'all feelings. I don't want y'all getting emotional. I don't want y'all feeling a certain type of way. When I tell you the truth on why y'all make less than men, I don't want you feeling like Anton is attacking us. No, I love you, so I'm gonna give you the sauce and I'm gonna give you the truth. Okay? But you're gonna have to be open to it. Don't say I didn't warn you.
A growing portion of the United States is requiring companies to disclose how much they pay for a given job.
Pay transparency is sometimes used to mean not punishing people for talking to each other about how much they make. But more and more, we're seeing efforts to ensure that employers affirmatively provide information to job applicants or to employees about pay ranges for particular positions. New York State, California, Colorado, and Washington State are all requiring that in job announcements.
These states have the most aggressive forms of pay transparency. Everyone, even the people who don't apply to the job, knows what the pay will be. Other jurisdictions only make companies disclose pay upon request from an applicant.
Now, the first thing that I want y'all to ask yourself, because when y'all hearing this conversation and when y'all hearing these details and things, I don't want y'all to just listen to it with an ear to take into consideration just what they saying. I want you to ask yourself this question. Why? What incentive does these states have to make this pay transparent, to reveal the salaries of the people that work at this company, especially for new applicants and so on and so forth? I see you, Luck. I'm going to be reading super chat shortly.
So we're seeing that in states like Connecticut, Maryland, Nevada, and Rhode Island.
Of course, there has been some degree of wage transparency in the states for many years. For example, virtually all federal government jobs list pay ranges.
Correct. Federal government jobs. Also, on top of that, major universities, so on and so forth. Ladies, if you're dating a man that works at a major university, a federal government job, or anything like that, you can literally go on that website. I shouldn't even be telling y'all this. You know, you can go to that website and find out exactly how much he makes. It'll list his salary. It'll list him. It'll list his name. You can find out whether or not his name is really his name. You can find out whether or not he really makes what he make. I shouldn't even be telling y'all that, but you can go online, especially if they work for the federal government in most instances, which is one of the reasons why a lot of guys, when they get coached by me, I tell them and I give them this additional information to help them to understand that depending on who you are and where you are in life, and if you're married and so on and so forth, you need to be careful on the position that you're choosing if you weigh an option between going with A or you going with B, because you can literally go online and find out exactly how much whoever it is making when they make what they make. And most people don't even know this. It is public information. They are public servants. You are absolutely right, Hema. You're absolutely right. Gave y'all a gem already.
The U.S.'s largest employer is the government. All government salaries are public. When you look at professional sports, we know what LeBron James makes. So I just kind of feel like it's something that that does have a lot of impact.
Workers have technically had the right to discuss their pay rates since 1935. This modern movement is far more potent. It traces back.
Most of the time, the website, Lucky, is the website for whatever the organization is. So, like, for example, when I was working for the University of Michigan, one of the things that I did, because I didn't need the money, I looked at all of the other total compensation, right? So total compensation is the entirety of the pay package, whether it's the benefits, whether it's the 401k, or in this case, the 403b. 403b is often associated with nonprofit organizations, but it is the same thing as a 401k as far as your retirement contribution. Your total compensation package is much bigger than your salary, right? So, for example, when I took a position at the University of Michigan, I was more concerned with getting in and leveraging certain relationships and using the experience in order to move up in corporate America for the next position that I was going to take. Plus, I was already running businesses in which I never had to use the actual salary that I made from that organization to find out, or I'm sorry, to substantiate my lifestyle, right? And so as a result, I was willing to take less money for more experience and also for a max contribution into my 403b, because they were double matching the 403b and they had the best benefits of anywhere in the state. The University of Michigan had the best benefits of any company that I've ever worked for in my entire life, right? So I was willing to take less money because I didn't actually need the salary. The contribution of the salary first was, okay, I'm going to max out to double match the 403b, which is the same as a 401k. And then the rest of it, I can just bank because we're going to invest the rest of it because we don't need it in order to maintain our lifestyle, right? But on the University of Michigan, they have a specific website, and most other organizations do. They have a website in which you can go to, type out the name of whoever the person is, which is why I use my real name, which is one of the reasons why I like to be honest and open and transparent and live my life like an open book. You can type out the name of the person, and it will tell you exactly what the salary is of the person that worked there. You can find out anybody. You can find out your director. You can go and find out your coworkers, all of that.
Back to the Lilly Ledbetter Fair Pay Act of 2009.
I went to work for Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company in Gadsden, Alabama, as a manager in production, that being in the factory. After 19 years, I go into work on my shift, and I find in my mail a note. It's the fourth of a sheet of paper torn with my name and 3 men.
The note said Ledbetter made less than her peers,
including folks that she had trained. She was basically being radically underpaid.
In his first month in office, President Obama signed this law, which made...
Shout out to Obama continuing to be a feminist. You gotta love Obama. You gotta love Obama that continues to be a feminist. Obama enacted more things to support everything except for black men specifically. And I wasn't tripping about it because it don't matter who president. I'm gonna get my bag no matter what. Do y'all know that Obama did more work for women, white women, alphabet community than any other president in history? Look at Lucky being messy.
made it easier to sue employers who pay their workers unfairly.
This has been a very long journey. People like Lilly Ledbetter paved the way to make sure that there will be equal pay laws on the books and make sure now that there's a movement toward pay transparency across the country.
Other factors, like technology, are changing the conversation too.
The internet has allowed that sort of information sharing to be sort of more normalized. It's easier. Sites like Glassdoor, where people share their salaries more or less anonymously, have, I think, started to shift the culture and the set of expectations.
Glassdoor is also a very, very good tool that people need to use when they're looking up the possibilities of trying to work for a company. The three things that you want to look for when you're trying to find out whether or not you want to work at a company, because what y'all don't understand is this in this interview process. And I deep dive into this in the Interviewing Like a King video that I got inside of the Patreon. Is just as much of an interview of them as it is of you. A lot of y'all go into an interview trying to impress them instead of trying to reverse it and have them impress you. An interview is the same thing as going up and talking to a woman. It's literally the exact same concept, right? And so what you're going to have to learn, and I'm not going to give you all of my sauce, but what y'all going to have to learn is that the interview process is more of a you interviewing them than them interviewing you once you get past the initial uncomfortable phase of introduction, finding out who's in the room, how much the processes are as far as what stages of the interview. Okay, this one is a technical. This one is actually to find out whether or not you're a cultural fit. This one is, an HR interview to understand your background and your reasons for how it is that you're moving, so on and so forth. It's a method to how you can be successful every single time, and then also make it to where they can't afford to not have you. But there's also tools on the internet that allows for you to actually understand what the pay range is. And even with what's listed, that is just a range. They are willing to go way above and beyond that in order to attain the right person for that particular position if you know how to sell yourself correctly. We're all in sales. You just don't know it yet. You just don't know how to sell yourself.
Put out a research study that talked about whether employees believe that their pay is fair. And only 32% believe that their pay was fair.
Yeah, everybody don't feel like
these laws could come with a catch.
There are these hidden effects, and it looks like pay transparency through this bargaining channel does very much affect wages, and the effect is typically not positive.
A growing group of economists believe public wage transparency may erode the bargaining power of individual workers.
Which I don't like it. Because then all it does is it unionizes the process, which makes it much difficult for me to be able to out-negotiate you, because then companies are going to start adjusting and just setting a flat rate based off of what it is that they can be paying a person. Because, listen, you can come into a company and you can feel like, oh, okay, well, I'm doing the same work as him. But you don't, and you don't add as much value, and you don't actually generate as much revenue as I do, and you're not as good as me. And so it's not the same as doing these jobs with a monkey suit on, in which, you putting some wheels on, and you on the line, and we all in the plant. It's not the same. It's much, much different because, for example, when I stand in front of a client and that client's willingness to continue to do business with us or increase the amount of business that we do based off of the relationship that I have with the client, not just what my deliverables are, that's one of the determining factors for whether or not, and that's why I'm able to move up much more quickly and that I'm able to have a position created for me that didn't even exist in the company, whereas you just trying to come in and match my energy or match my efficiency or saying that I'm doing the same amount of work. No, the cultural fit matters, whether or not people want to work with you. The ability to be able to recruit other people or retain talent and employees also factor into it. One thing that people say a lot of times is, well, we don't make the same pay. You don't know what my bonuses is. You don't know what my employee equity in the company is, my employee pay equity in the company, my ESPP. You don't know what my separate performance bonuses are when we meet certain thresholds. You don't know what my compensation as far as when they give me equity, when it vests. You don't understand any of that. And so you just think it's based off of the base salary, and that's not it. When I say the total compensation package, I'm talking about it all encompassing. And when you get to a certain level, it's based off of what you can negotiate, not based off of what you feel. And this is the difference between men and women, all right? This is the difference between men and women. And I told y'all I'm going to give y'all the truth. The truth is, it's the nature of a woman to be more nurturing, so you're more accepting of what somebody give you because you just happy to be there. Now, I will tell you that simps have the same problem. And I know y'all don't like the word simp, but I'm telling you this because we have to put labels on things so we can separate the two and you'll understand exactly how I'm breaking this game down, right? Simps have the same problem. And the reason that simps have the same problem is because they're just happy to be there the same way that they're happy to be in a relationship. They don't even know how they got that girl. They didn't know that that girl didn't really want them and that all of the other guys had already had them and that she settled for him when she had nothing else left to give. And so as a result, he's just sitting there saying, yeah, I got a bad one. But everybody had a bad one. and she's not sure it's just your turn. And so because you're just happy to be there, she's willing to tolerate you, but she's not willing to give you everything, similar to how a company or a corporate entity is willing to give you everything in order to make sure that they retain you because they understand how valuable you are. Now, the other side of the equation is that we realize how valuable some of these women are. We realize that they work harder, that they're more loyal, that they're going to be up earlier. Some women are willing to sacrifice their families, throw away their whole family, separate their kid from the father, live their whole life without never getting married, so on and so forth, and dedicate themselves to the company culture. And that's what it takes in order to rise in corporate America. The other side of the equation of that, though, is that you still have that nurturing spirit within you that's feminine that allows for you not to ask more than what it is that you think you deserve, which then can put you in a better bargaining position. And so a lot of women, they're unwilling to pay for coaching, or they're unwilling to pay for somebody to help them negotiate their salary or to guide them through the corporate process. And then they leave a lot of money on the table because they don't know how to say no. In the same way that most women don't know how to say no to the guy that they really want, understanding that that makes them more desirable in most instances, they don't know when and how to say no. It's a difference to be a rejection. It's a difference than saying no, and it's a difference than playing hard to get. It's a different way in order to leverage certain things in order to ensure that they know that there's competition and there's a marketplace for you, right? And so you use that, or you use the idea that you don't need them in order to negotiate a better package. You know that your experience, a lot of people job hop a lot of times instead of sticking around for 2, 3, 4 years. For me in particular, I wouldn't stick around any more than 4 years. 3 years is the space where you start to get the itch, but it's enough time for you to actually have enough projects under your belt, and it shows that you stick with something and that you can be a cultural fit and build up enough references and relationships in which you can carry those relationships long term with you well after you've left the company, and then you maintain that inside of your phone. And I got a whole nother method that I give the bag chasers and the Patreon members in order to maintain a network so that it don't just become out of sight, out of mind from the different people. But 3 years is when you should start to get the itch. 4 years is when you know you start to been there a little bit too long, because often at times, if you have not been promoted, then people will pay you more in order to leave. So again, I don't want to give y'all the sauce that we talk about inside of the Patreon, so I'm going to limit it to there. But I'm going to just leave you with this. Most women don't know how, not when, but how to say no. And then they don't have the balls to be able to be willing to walk away, which is what men then have over them as far as leveraging, negotiating their packages. It's not that they offering you any less than they offered him. It's just that they really wanted him and they were unwilling to let him go, in which they were willing to go over and above what it was that they were paying normal everyday people like you, because they knew that they can get you for cheap because you not worth nothing and you don't even understand your worth and your value. And so instead of looking at him and saying, well, he making the same thing, I should be making the same thing as him, you should be able to negotiate more effectively, and then you can make more than him. And that's why most people that come in after you make more than you, and then you still have to train them. Because it's not the job that determines whether or not he's going to get paid a lot. It's the cultural fit. You think that your job and what you do on the job and how hard you work is the determining factor for how much you get paid. It's not. It's cultural fit. When you see these women, and I know y'all hate this part because I told y'all was going to hate this part. When you see these women and they got to have a African braids in and shit, right? And they smell like fucking black soap and they overdoused in perfume and they look like they fucking going to the after hours every time they show up for work. That's a factor in whether or not you're going to be promoted or a cultural fit, because you're a representation in the face of the company. You think that everybody is just supposed to accept you, but what you don't understand is that when you go up in corporate America, you're literally in sales. The job title is just a thing for the general public. What we're really doing is sales every day. CEO, president, director, senior VP, CTO, CFO, they're sales. Now, you may not like it that you can't wear your African braids and I can't talk the way I want to talk because historically in Africa, we all usually be able to wear a whole lot of jewelry around our neck, and they should be able to accept me because I got on everything and all of my labels say Dior, 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 Dior. You may feel a certain type of way, but I'm telling you that you're shooting yourself in the foot. You're shooting yourself in the foot if you don't figure out how to be likable and a cultural fit. The first thing that people look for, the first thing that I look at is your Instagram. I look at your Facebook because it paints a better picture of who you are that your resume is going to lie to me about, right? And then I can come in and I can kick it with you in person and I can better understand whether or not you finesse me or not. But no, you want to be slick neck. You want to say, listen, I'm training him. So why is he making more money than me? Because he's a better cultural fit for what the organization feels that they need in order to continue to get more business from the general public. It just is what it is. It's the same thing when it comes to your wife, your spouse, so on and so forth, right? I tell guys all the time, if I see you in the streets and then I see your wife and she look like she for the streets. Come on, somebody. Y'all not hearing me. If I see you in the streets as a man, I'm reading super chats throughout the show, and then I see your wife, because let's be clear, it's a difference between wives and whores. Y'all don't want to hear me today. Y'all don't want to hear me today. Y'all said, Anton, I'm in my feelings. You're not supporting the blackity black movement. You all here talking about, how we need to compete instead of holding Pearl accountable. Y'all don't want to hear me. Y'all don't want to hear me. When I see you in the streets as a man and your wife look like she's for the streets, now I'm not talking about your side chick. I'm not talking about the chick that you busting down. I'm talking about your wife. If your wife look like she's for the streets, then your wife is a reflection of you and how it is that you run your household. It tells me a lot about you before I even have a conversation with you, right? Y'all not ready for this sauce. I'm gonna lead us there. I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna leave it there because I don't want to go into that. I don't want to offend nobody. If I see you in the streets and your wife look like she's for the streets, your wife is supposed to look like a wife. She's supposed to look like a mother. She's supposed to look like she's well put together. She's supposed to look like she's well taken care of. Her car shouldn't be dusty. The inside of her car shouldn't be dirty, right? Her hair is supposed to be done. Her breath is supposed to be smelling good. She's not supposed to be overly revealing, but she's supposed to be somebody that you respect. She's supposed to be respectful. Your wife is supposed to be a Swiss Army knife. She's not supposed to look like them same old hoes that you used to dealing with at the bar. And that's why when I hear a lot of these guys, right, that talk on a lot of these spaces that don't know shit about corporate America, they ain't never made no real money outside of doing drugs and dealing cocaine in the streets. When I hear these guys talk, I know they don't know what the fuck they talking about when it comes to picking wives, because picking a wife is more than just all of this other dumb shit. It's a business decision. This is the person that is going to be a reflection of whether or not you can, when you walk into the house and your wife look like she's for the streets, they're not going to take you serious. When you look like you got a rental wife, they're not going to take you serious. It's a reason why men that are married make more money than men that aren't, because they understand how to look at everything from a business perspective. That's not all men, obviously, but as men in general, you have to know how to play the game. Everything is literally a game. It's all a game. Everything is a game. And if your chick is not bought in, and if she is not executing your vision, in which you don't even have a vision for her to execute in the first place, if you're not ready in order to leverage that relationship in order to do things from a business, when I say from a business perspective, I'm not even just talking about from a bag. I'm also talking about how it is that you want your children to be raised. What is it that you want your kids to be taken in? What image do you want to imprint in their mind? There's people that say, yo, Anton, I remember everything from 4 years old all the way up, and this is the one thing that I couldn't get out of my head. Well, that tells me why you are the way that you are today. What image do you want imprinted in your mind? What relationships do you want to leverage? How is it that you want this woman to be able to move specifically in order to ensure that you continue to level up in corporate America? How can you send this woman out when you take her out in order to bring in more business by making friends with the wives instead of offending them? Because there's certain wives, they don't want to be associated with certain type of women and they can see them from a mile off. Your wife needs to look like she's non-offensive, that she's friendly, that she's able to hold a conversation, and that she's able to relate to the rest of the wives. And so if yours can't, then it's a strong possibility that she can't go back to her husband and say that, hey, you should be doing business with her. If you can't use your wife as a Swiss Army knife in order to continue to bring value into your household, then what the fuck is she there for? Y'all don't want to hear this conversation. Y'all don't want to hear this conversation. Y'all thought that it was just all up and down and everything like that. And so because I don't say everything and because I don't give y'all the sauce, y'all out here betting for the wrong thing because you don't truly understand what it takes to look at things from a business perspective and level up. I'm giving you the sauce, family. I'm giving you the game. Don't get mad at me. Pay attention to what I'm saying. If you can take it, then you can take it. If you can't, then spit the bones out, take the meat, and keep it going. But that's enough. I don't want to go too much. I don't want to go too deep because I can talk about this and I can really skin this cat. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Also, if you need to get in touch with me personally from a business perspective, email me at antondaniels413@gmail.com. It's not all fun and games. Sometimes we have fun. Sometimes we have the entertainment. But we got to put the medicine inside of the candy also. And I want to leave y'all with some gems, at the very least, a few gems, so that you can implement it into your life and hopefully you see things from a different perspective than you did when you first came in. Listen, I love you. I appreciate you. Let me read some of these super chats before we get up out of here because I absolutely love and appreciate the fact that you guys are continuing to add value into me. Centennial G, my dog, says, shout out to Church's Chicken, Coconut Oil, and MSG Hair Grease for Dr. Umar. Frederick Douglass jumped on the vanilla swirl. White Woman Wonder Mob, shout out to you. I appreciate you. Jay Hunter Lee says, people are quick to play the race card. Black women doing this crap too. Agreed. The only time the black people come together is when they come in unison against another white person. Have y'all noticed that? Brock says, pass a love offering, so I guess Elmer Fudd was moving wrong out here. Shh, quiet. We hunting wabbits. Mr. Woe 218 still supporting the platform says, I think something up with them switching us to 32-hour work weeks, and Brittany Taylor beat her man with a bat, and we worried about white women. Accountability partner with the Fireball says, off topic, big dog, you need to promote your other shows. Saturday live show is fire, starts with a banger. I got something for that. I just wanted to get the right combination of different things together before I start pushing it very, very hard. Absolutely. I got you, and I agree with you. Levi DePero says, the Saturday night show is a mature grown folks conversation. It ain't no bullshit in there. Levi DePero says, Anton, hashtag married life. I sleep in a box too. I understand. Job crisis when votes to be had, keeping them confused and hope for a good vote. Lucky says, that's why you get a man with money. My salary doesn't even matter. Agreed. Me and you are on the same page with that. Make sure you get your finesse on, Luck. Definite G says, minimum wage is part of the reason why cost of living is going up and people are too stupid to realize that. Inflation. Accountability partner says, Patreon level game today. Anton, people pay for this. I'm not going to give them all the sauce. I'm going to just give them a little bit of sauce. You know what I'm saying? Aaron says, facts, Anton. I was just at a conference. Over drinks, a female executive was telling a few of us the same thing you just said, damn near verbatim. Let me read this one more time for the people in the back. Anton, I was just at a conference, and over drinks, a female executive was telling a few of us the same thing you just said, damn near verbatim. Let me read a few more super chats before we get up out of here. I gotta acknowledge the big dogs. Vic Robinson with the 50 ball says, you're speaking facts, fam. Shout out to Vic. Absolutely holding me down. I love you. I appreciate you. You are much appreciated, Vic. Everybody that gives, but I especially want to acknowledge the people that spent 50 or more, especially that hit me on the Cash App or hit me with the super chat. Thank you, Vic, for holding me down. Thank you, my friend. You are absolutely Appreciate it, bro. Let me get to a couple more. Lucky says, bring Q-Pill on Lapeef. No, I don't care. Me and JR talk a lot of different times. Don't be worried about what we got going on. We putting things together. Proven grounds, different things. We find the people where they need to be. Says, sorry, Anton is pronounced Aaron. Mom is weird. Okay, so it's Aaron Woe. All right, I got you. So from now on, I know how to pronounce your name properly. It's Aaron Woe. Shout out to mommy. What the hell says, good job calling out B. Taylor. We love B. Taylor, and that's why we pushing her. We pushing B. I want to see B working. A Light Cooper or Alice or a Light Cooper says, just showing love, Anton. They stay talking about you on other channels and be so wrong. Let them talk. We want them to talk. Just know that Candyman hears everything, and if you say my name enough, I might show up, and you might not like the results that go along with it. Shout out to you, Miss Cooper. You always hold me down. I know how you've been holding me down throughout the years. Listen, I love you guys. I appreciate you. Thank you for making it so enjoyable for me to be able to kick it with y'all on a regular basis, especially on a Millionaire Morning Show. I love you. I appreciate you, but I need y'all to do me one more thing before we get up out of here. Make sure you share this with your family and friends. We don't want to be successful and rich by ourselves. I love you. I hope you found this to be incredibly entertaining. And I hope that you guys find value enough to be able to share this with your family and friends. Tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. I will see y'all tomorrow morning, 10:15 Eastern a.m. Don't be late. We get started. Peace.